You know, everything about the sea and the winds and the stars, the sun, and particularly the moon, I learned from my grandmother who was from Puna. She knew every night of the moon. She taught us what night of the moon, what morning of the moon to go fishing along a coast like this. She taught us to learn about the waves. And all of this knowledge she carried around in her head like a book. We've tried to employ her appreciation of things in our own lives. This carrying around of the whole world, the whole universal sense of time, cosmic time, the moon calendar. If we had half, I would say the reverence for all of this that she had, the world would be such a lovely place to live in.
Deep within the turning darkness of the black night, silence surrounds the frontier of time. Standing at the edge is fear, pierced by the light of knowledge, and the unknown is forgotten. Our ancient pioneers gazed upon the sparkling brilliance of the night sky and determined recurring rhythms, predictable, measurable, capable of being known.
Mai kai ki mai ka hanau na mua mai kai ki mā mauloa kai ki moe. E ai mai e inu I ka wai ola. Hu ke aloha no ke kulai vi a paana makana po mai ka iyo nā kūpuna I hala. E ai mai e inu I ka wai ola. Po ai ka poli hulu māku ai ke kai hawana I ke kai olu o ewa e ai mai e inu I ka wai ola. O ai alua kupo ki he ki ilo I kalo e hui me tua ini o gaua golo au e ai mai e inu I ka wai ola. Ku mai ka ala. Ho amo hala na lehua hulu mamo ki e Hawaii. E ai mai e inu I ka wai ola.
Ano ai na matamata o Hawaii nei mai tapu uai o te herirani ai ki aku I tarai o te awe. O wau o hurumamu. He kama o hina. This is the story of the Hawaiian moon and the ancient calendar of our kupuna. The ancestors used a calendar that was based on the cycles of the turning moon, each night showing a different phase of the moon's reflections from the light of the sun, gradually increasing in brightness as it travels across the sky. Mahina becomes a fully luminous sphere in the night sky at the midpoint, before declining again into the darkness from whence she came. There are 30 nights to the 29.5-day cycle of the Hawaiian moon. Each night has a name, a function, a rhythm. Each day follows the name of the Mahina night.
Hilo hoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau. Ole kukahi, ole kulua, ole kukolu, ole kau. Ea, puna mohalu, hua, oku mahe arani. Kulu, la au kukahi, la au kulua, la au kau. Ea, ole kukahi, ole kulua, ole kau. Kaloa kukahi, kaloa kulua, kaloa kau. Kangelo no mauri muku e. Ea,
The moon will rise and set according to the rhythm of the night cycle. This rhythm had monthly, seasonal, and yearly fluctuations, but generally following the rhythm of the night. The monthly cycle is divided into 3 anahulu, a period similar to a week, but 10 days in length. Each anahulu reflects a special character and anu in the moon's dance across the sky. The first anahulu is ho'onui, a period of increasing, when the moon begins to shine again. The second anahulu is poipoi, the period of rounding. This is the waxing moon, when she becomes a sphere in the sky. In the beginning of this period, Mahina increases, and in the ending of the anahulu, she is fading. It is during poipoi Mahina shines brightest upon the earth, a comforting image in the night sky. The third anahulu is emi, a period of shrinking, as Mahina begins to decline, becoming darker each night as she returns to the darkness. The first night of the year always began with the first night of the moon, the night called Hilo.
Hilo, kapo e kahi.
Hilo is a twist. Mahina is just beginning to show a strand of twisted silver hair of Hina.
This is a good day for fishing and planting.
Ho'aka is the second Mahina night.
Ho'aka, kapo e lua.
The moon is now appearing and seen low in the sunset.
The night of shadows, the night of ghosts, scaring the fish away.
Mahina is still traveling with the sun in the daylight, but is now reaching back into the night, reclaiming her nightly dominance. Kukahi is the third night.
Ku kahi, kapo e kolu.
This po is named for Ku, one of the Kiniakua of Hawaii. Ku, Kane, Lono, and Kanaloa were known as the Sacred Four.
The kupuna observed religious rituals that were in accordance with the phases of the moon. During the pule, the period of prayer, some days were kapu, forbidden to fishing or farming. The first kapu period of the month was in honor of the akua ku, the ku tabu. It began with the first night of Hilo and ended on the morning of Kulua. Ritual ceremonies were held during this period.
Kulua is the fourth Hawaiian night and the second night of Ku.
Kulua, kapo e ha.
Ku of the boar tusk, the cusp of the moon.
Ku is also represented by the cardinal direction of east, where the sun and moon start their climb across the sky, just as Hina marks the cardinal direction of west, where they both lie down to sleep.
It is in the west that the sun ends the day and the moon ends night, as they both rejoin the cosmic night womb to be reborn each day.
Ku, the akua of agriculture and fishing, of house building and canoe carving. Ku ulauka, ku ulakai, ku kailimoku, ku nui akea.
E ia ke kama o Hina, he makana o lau na hanauni. Ho'i mai te puna wainani, e haliu mai talani, kalama ku o kana au. E ho'o mau i ke kumu pono, e ai mai e inu i tawai ora. Ku kolu is the fifth night.
Ku kolu, kapo e lima.
Fishing is abundant, especially during Kau, the dry season. Women gather limu, crab, and vana. It is not a good time for planting. Ku Pau is the sixth night.
Ku pau, kapo e ono.
This is the last of the 4 days of Ku.
It is a fair day for fishing and a good day for planting uala.
Ole Ku Kahi is the 7th night and the first negative night.
Hilohoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau ole kukahi.
Ole kukahi, kapo e hiku.
It is the terminator of the moon, the first quarter.
Not a good time for planting or fishing, except for the seasonal runs. In the month of Hina-1.mov, the corals of the sea will spawn.
Ole Ku Lua is the 8th night and the second negative night of Ku.
Hilohoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau ole kukahi ole kulua.
Ole kulua, kapo e walu.
Mahina is rising nearly at Avakea, midday, and setting at midnight.
Good torching inshore, but poor seas for fishing.
The ancient ones were intensive astronomers. They studied the sky for the patterns and rhythms of not only Mahina, but also the planets, the sun, and the stars. On all the islands of Hawaii, heiau were used as observatories for charting celestial movements.
On the island of Oahu, one such place was Kualoa, as part of the Kaneohe living system, which included all the lands up to Mokapu. Kualoa was a spiritual center for kahuna, keepers of knowledge in the arts and sciences. Since it is on the east side of the island, it was ideal for watching the rising of the moon, the sun, and the stars.
In the middle of Oahu, between the two great mountain ranges of Ko'olau and Waianae, resides Ku Kaniloko Heiau. Commanding the Kunia Plateau, it is a most sacred place of Oahu Island. The birthplace of kings and queens, it was a significant observatory of its time. The peaks of the Ko'olau were used to mark the rising stars in the east, and the Waianae were used to follow their descent into the west, all while the whole of the night sky danced above.
Ole Ku Kolu is the 9th night.
Ole ku kolu, kapo e iwa.
Hilohoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau ole kukahi ole kulua ole kukolu.
Good torch fishing, but a poor night for planting.
Hilohoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau ole kukahi ole kulua ole kukolu ole pau. Ea ea la.
Ole pau, kapo umi.
Ole Po is the 10th night, the last night of negative, and the end of the first anahulu, 1/3 month.
A good night for planting ulu, not good fishing.
Hilohoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau ole kukahi ole kulua ole kukolu ole pau. Ea ea la. Ea ea la.
Aia I ke puhi ka ohana, o ke kai olu, o ka lehua mamu, o ke kia I kalo, a o ka iwa. Pū ana ka haina e ho'oku kaulani I hei kapu, nā piko o ke kumu ola. E ai mai e inu I ka wai ola.